Grab your props, lock and ring or strap if you have it. And we're just gonna start today on our back. So welcome, this is yoga. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Start onto your back, gently rocking side to side. Massage through your spine. And then find a neutral spine. Place your hands onto your knees and start circling through the hips with your hands onto your knees. Just breathing, relaxing. And then as you feel guided, reverse the direction of those circles. And now find the soles of your feet together. And then press your elbows onto your legs to open up through those inner thighs. Stay here and breathe. Keep hugging your legs in towards you as your elbows press out. Good. One more deep breath. And now we're going to move it into our happy baby. You can take your peace sign fingers around your big toe, or you can just place your hands anywhere onto your legs or feet, with your option to keep your knees bent or straighten your legs out and gently rock side to side. Feeling a massage into your spine and a stretch in through the hip flexors. Good. One more deep breath. And bring it back to center. Take your hands behind your legs and rock yourself up. Okay. Coming to a side position. Start lengthening out onto your side. And then stretch, whatever side you're on, it doesn't matter. Take your front hand right in front of you. And then just gently press back and forward. Press back and forward a few times. Just lengthening out through the spine, opening up through the shoulder. And now if it's available for you, take this bottom hand behind you all the way out to the side in a T position. So it's going to be all the way out to the side, and then press again onto the mat in front of you, rocking forward and back. And then we're just going to stay pressing your hand into the ground, looking up to the ceiling, and stretch out. Take 5 deep breaths here. Keep pressing that hand to help deepen the stretch through your shoulder. If you feel good here, you can stay here. Or if you want to add a quad stretch into this, take your top leg, hold onto your ankle or your foot with that top hand, and then stretch out through the quad as you continue to look up toward the ceiling. That bottom arm is going to stay where it's at, feeling the stretch. Good. 2 more deep breaths here. And on the exhalation, come back onto your belly. Come all the way slowly onto your belly. We're going to take that arm that was on the bottom and then cross it over to the other side. This time your palm is going to face up and your other hand is going to press onto the ground and then look toward the direction of that shoulder that's on the ground. So we're just stretching out that opposite direction of your shoulder. Press and rock a few more times, and then we're just going to stay into the stretch. And then just Go as low as comfortable for you, looking toward the direction of that bottom arm. And breathe here. Release any resistance, any tension. Good, 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, take both arms behind you. Bend your knees, and we're gonna come into our bow position. Hold onto your legs and lift up. Lift up your legs, lift up your shoulders. Squeeze your internal organs, and remember to drink water after yoga, because this is where you're going to squeeze out all of those toxins. Keep breathing. 3 more deep breaths. Good. On the exhalation, press back into an extended arm child's pose. Press those hands deep onto the ground, draw that belly in. Try to place your forehead onto the mat, or you could put a block there if it's hard to reach your forehead to the mat. Good. 2 more deep breaths, and then we're going to walk it to one side. On your exhalation, walk it all the way over to one side, press your hands into the ground, and you have the option to take this hand that's on the inside and stack it on the hand that's on the outside. On your next exhalation, walk it all the way over to the other side. Keep those knees nice and wide, with your option to stack the inside hand on the outside hand. And on your exhalation, walk it back to center, and we're going to come to our other side, stretching out that opposite shoulder. So just point your head in the other direction. Start with your arm long out in front of you, and that top hand, start feeling into your range of motion. Go forward and back. And then maybe take it a little bit farther back behind you. Go forward and back. And then whenever you're ready, just start making your way with that hand, and the whole arm really is far out in a T position as you comfortably can. So only go to your own availability. Whatever that means for you, we're all different. Just a few gentle little motions, pressing into the ground and then looking back down onto the ground. And this is going to help gradually decide where you want to be with your stretch. And when you're ready, hold that stretch with your arm out, if you can, in that T position, pressing into the ground, looking up to the ceiling. We have 5 deep breaths, and then we're going to have that option to bind with our top leg. All right, if you feel good, you could stay here. Or if you want to add a bind, you could take your top leg, your bottom leg should be a little bit out in front of you, and then bind, holding onto your foot or your ankle, gazing upward, continuing with that shoulder stretch. Good. Keep breathing. 5 more deep breaths. Good, and on your next exhalation, slowly unbind yourself. Take that arm that was stretched out to the side, and we're just gonna cross it over with the palm facing up, with that top hand gently pressing into the ground to rock you back toward that shoulder. And then the gravity and the body weight will roll you back into it. Just a few more dynamically warming up, and then we'll hold the stretch. So here's where you can think about your availability for the stretch. Whatever that is for you, just feeling into your range of motion. And when you're ready, just let your weight come onto this arm and try to look to the side of the shoulder that you're on. So I have my right shoulder under me and looking to the right. 5 more deep breaths. Feel free to stretch out your fingers while you're here too. I'm constantly stretching out my fingers because they do so much work for me. And stretch your eyeballs too. They do a lot of work for us. Good, 1 more deep breath. And on your exhalation, both hands back under your shoulders. We're gonna go back into the boat bind. Or not the boat, the bow bind. So holding on to your ankles, lift up, breathe here. If you wanna make little momentum rock, forward and back, or you can just stay pressing up as high as you can. 5 more deep breaths. And on your next exhalation, gently release, hands under your shoulders. Now we're going to take it into a tabletop position in the center of your mat. Begin rounding and arcing, moving through your cat-cow. Breathing into the belly. Exhaling into the back, and just take your time. Good, and the next time you come into your rounded back, sway around in this, move through the shoulders, the hips. Try to really tuck that tailbone in, draw the belly button towards your spine. Breathe through this. And you can go fast or slow, big or small, just whatever is feeling good for you. And then when you're ready, just reverse the direction. Good. Few more. And then coming to center, curl your toes, press into your downward facing dog. Walk it out. Tuck your chin into your chest, open up through your shoulders, straighten up through the spine. Breathe. Good, keep breathing. 3 more deep breaths. And then we're gonna come into a triangle pose. All right, now step just your right foot forward, and only enough so that your back left heel can stay flat onto the floor without at an angle. So take a moment here, just adjusting. Those feet are hip distance apart, both toes pointed forward, both heels onto the ground. And then if you wanted to, actually, you can have your block near you. Sometimes I like to start off with my block so that it doesn't put too much stress on my back. And we're just gonna sway our hips side to side with your hands either onto a block or just onto the ground, or you could even put them onto your leg And we're just swaying those hips side to side. I don't know if you guys can see. So our hips are the chakra for water. So I want you to think that you're swaying in an ocean with a beautiful orange sunset, like an ocean filled with orange juice. Let your hips just sway with ease. Good. And then find a neutral center. Put a little bend in your front knee and then push it back. So instead of going right to left, side to side, we're going to go forward and back. Stretching out, especially your front leg when you press back. Good, about 2 more. And then we're just gonna stay back in this stretch. Taking your right hand under your shoulder, you could put a block. Might help to put a block under that right hand. And we're gonna reach the left arm up. Try to look upward. If you feel like you don't need the block, maybe your hand comes onto the ground or it could go onto your shin. Try not to sacrifice your form. Keep breathing. 5 more deep breaths. Good. And on your exhalation, take your left hand under that left shoulder. Put your block there if you need to. And we're going to bring that right arm all the way up to the ceiling. Adjust as needed. Gaze upward. Keep breathing. 5 more deep breaths. Good. And on your exhalation, slowly bring both hands back down under your shoulders. And we're going to take this left foot all the way back into a nice low lunge. Use that block if you need to. And we're just doing little dips down and up, getting a little bit deeper into those hips. With your hands either onto a block or they could be onto the ground below you. 3, 2, 1. And now take your left foot and point the toe out to the side. Take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and we're gonna bring the arms up as we rest our right shoulder onto our right knee. Breathe here. Good, 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, release your arms, taking your right arm under your shoulder. You can put your block there if you want, and then reach your left arm up. Try to use that right arm to open up the inner thigh, the hip flexor on the right side. Keep breathing. 3 more deep breaths. Good. On your exhalation, lower the left arm down under your shoulder, and we're coming out to that other side. Reach that right arm up. Put a block under your left shoulder if you need to, or under the left hand. 4 more deep breaths. And on your next exhalation, lower both hands back down, point your toe forward, and then we're gonna step back into a plank line. Gaze forward. Feet squeeze together. We're going to take a few serrated push-ups, squeezing your shoulder blades back behind you, and then opening up as you gaze forward. Don't worry about how many you do. Try to just do them with the breath. Inhaling as you open up through the shoulders. Exhale as you squeeze through. 5 more deep breaths. Good, one more time. And then press back into a downward facing dog. Walking your dog. Shift your weight side to side, tuck your chin into your chest. Let the weight shift back towards your hip bones as you just breathe through this. Good, about 3 more deep breaths, and then we're gonna come to that triangle on the other side. All right, when you're ready, step your left foot forward. And we're gonna adjust our feet so that everything is pointed forward and our heels can stay onto the ground. Bring a block near you if you want. This helps me at least to get into it. And then when you're ready, we're going into those side to side swaying motions with our hips, just swaying right to left. We're in our ocean of orange juice, feeling nice and sweet, abundant, moving with that flow of the ocean. Breathing through it. And I really like just that swaying side to side because it helps me get a little bit deeper into areas where I normally wouldn't. So take your time, use the block as needed. Maybe go back and forth between the block and not using the block. Just 5 more deep breaths. And then we're going to do our forward and back. Good. And when you're ready, come to center and little bend in your front knee and that front left knee, going forward and back. And try to keep being mindful that both of your toes are pointed forward and your heels are onto the ground. Good. Good, another 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to come into our triangle with the left hand under your shoulder and your right arm reaching up. It's really important that your feet are hip distance apart so that you'll have the balance that you need to bring your arm up. You could put a block under your left hand if you need to. 5 deep breaths, and then we're going to twist it. When you're ready, on your exhalation, take your right hand under your right shoulder and reach that left arm up in your revolved triangle. Good. Adding our twist into this. And then we'll start scooching down into our low lunge. Good. 1 more deep breath. And on your exhalation, slowly lower your hands back down. Now scoot your back right leg all the way back behind you with your toes still pointed forward. Use your block if you need to. And we're just going little dips down with that back knee. Getting even more loose through our hips. Feeling into that breath. Good, another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're gonna take that back foot and point it out to an angle. It really helps stabilize our stance. Your left shoulder should already pretty much be on your left knee. Take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, and bring them up. Breathe into this. It's our humble warrior. Three more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, release your arms from under you or from behind you. And then take your left hand on the inside part of your leg, reach your right arm up, stretch even your fingers, and use your left arm to press onto that left leg. Good. So we have our right arm up, left arm down. We're gonna switch it after this. So if you're doing the opposite way, then we'll just do the opposite. I think you guys got it. All right, good. Another 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, the right arm is gonna lower down. Remember, use a block if you need to. And your left arm reaches up. Good, so we're twisting that torso, reaching our arm way up to the ceiling. Stretch even your fingers. 5 more deep breaths. Use your block if you need to under your right hand. And on your exhalation, slowly lower your hands back under your shoulders, point your toes forward, and step back into your plank line. Here, we're gonna make sure your feet are kind of together a little bit closer than your hips. And then press back into down dog, and then into your plank. We're gonna just roll through the back, forward and back from plank to down dog. Try to put a little curvature in your spine when you go forward and back. Good, another 3 more. And the next time that you come into your down dog, when you're ready, stay there and walk your dog out a little bit. Adjust your stance as needed, because I know when we're moving between plank and down dog, it might not be the exact stance as you need just into your down dog. So shift that weight side to side. Let your feet go back in line with your hips if they weren't already. Good. And now we're gonna find that neutral down dog position. Take your right hand and see where you can catch onto your leg, your right hand, left leg, and then look up to the ceiling. If you can get on the ankle outside part or the inside, wherever you can reach, look up to the ceiling, 5 deep breaths. Good, and the exhalation is going to take you back into that down dog. Reset yourself as needed, and then try to reach your left hand towards your right leg. So we're just switching sides. And look up to that ceiling, opening up through your shoulder, but you're also feeling a deep stretch on this your right leg, the leg that you're holding on to. And the exhalation slowly brings you down with your knees onto the mat. Just untangle yourself and take a few cat-cow movements, rounding and arcing through your spine, resetting as needed. And now we're going to find a flat tabletop back. Take your right knee, put it a little bit more on the inside part of your midline of your body, and your left leg, just cross it over. So your legs are crossed behind you. And now we're going to sit back onto our seat. Our legs are crossed. If that doesn't work for you, you could just take both legs over to the side if you don't want to have your legs crossed like this. This is just going to give an added hip stretch. We're going to come into a little bit more shoulder work. So sitting comfortable, if that's comfortable to have your legs stacked or the legs to the side. Inhale, reach your arms up, and then take your elbows, gently move side to side. Warming up through those shoulders. Good, and then we're going to bring the left elbow in a little bit deeper. Hold onto it with your right hand, and then press your head back onto your arm. So you can really feel that stretch. Don't let your head fall forward. Keep pressing your head onto your arm, breathe. And then see if you can start looking over to the right side. Good. 5 more deep breaths, and we're going to have an option to bind. If you feel good, you can stay here, or your right hand can wrap behind you and catch your fingers. You could use a strap or something like a towel to help you if you need, or just your fingers holding on. So take what you need. And then see if you can look over to that right side. 5 more deep breaths. And your exhalation is going to unwind you back to center. Release your bind if you have that bind. Circle those arms a few times, stretching even your fingers. Moving your neck as you feel guided. And then just take those shoulder circles the other way, stretching your fingers all the way. And then we're going to take this left arm again across the midline of our body. So this time it's below our head instead of above our head. And we're just going to take a few in and out motions, trying to strengthen and stretch at the same time. Good. And then we're just going to stay and hug in. Look over to the left side this time. Now you have your option to bind, stacking your elbows Bringing your forearms together and placing the palms of your hands together. Lift up your elbows as high as comfortable. And then keep looking over to that left side at your own comfort level. Good, 3 more deep breaths. Keep those elbows up, spine straight. And the exhalation brings you back to center. It's the mailman. All right, take a few circles one way. And the other way. Good, and then just walk your hands out in front of you so you're coming back into this tabletop position. Uncross your legs. Take a few cat-cow motions to reset through your spine. All right, and then we're gonna have our right leg cross over, coming into that kind of twisted up leg position with our knees stacked, but this time our right hip is on the bottom and the left leg is on top. Reset as needed, get comfortable. Remember, if you need to, you could just take both legs out to the side. When you're ready, reach those arms up, bend the elbows, and just a few side-to-side motions. And I'm feeling way tighter on this side of my body. If you do feel tighter on one side of your body than the other, that's totally normal. Breathe through it. Just try to relax into any tension, any resistance. And when you're ready, bring just your right elbow in. You can relax your hand, that right hand, and then use your head to press on that right arm behind you. Breathe into it. Start looking over to that left side. We're going to take a few more deep breaths here, and then we'll have our option to bind. Okay, you can stay here if it feels good, or if you want to bind, take the left hand behind you and hold onto those fingers, or use a strap to help you. Here's where I'm way tighter on my right hip and then looser on my left shoulder. So this is a really good stretch to kind of even out your body and to feel into your body. Good, 5 more deep breaths. Yeah, so you can either just hold on to that elbow or interlace the fingers, look behind you. Another 3. And on your exhalation, gently release, circle those arms, stretch out even your fingers, restack your knees if you need to. Move your head as it feels good. And when you're ready, just circle the other way. Yeah. 3, and then we're going to take this right arm across the midline of our body with it lower than our head. And we're just bringing it in and out a few times to dynamically warm up while we still tighten up our muscle, but we're also stretching into it. 2, 3, and then you could just stay and hug in. Look over towards your right side. Try to relax your hips also while you're here. And if you wanted to, you could stack your elbows, twist your forearms up, and touch the palms of your hands together. Bring your elbows up And then keep twisting to the side, to the right side. Breathe. Good. 2 more deep breaths. And the exhalation gently unwinds you back to center. Release your arms. Take a few more shoulder circles, stretching out even your fingers. Good. Stretch out through the neck. 2. And just go the other way. 2. Good. And then lean back, bring your legs out in front of you, uncross through the legs. And we're just gonna hug and roll onto our back. We're gonna take a quick figure 4 stretch. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, keeping this left foot flexed. Use your left elbow to gently press open. And then at your own comfort, hug your right leg in. Keep using that left elbow to open up through the hip flexor with your option to rotate the ankle on the right side. Good. Keep hugging in that right leg and pressing out the left leg. And if you're circling your ankle, make sure you go both directions. Good. You can stay in this figure 4 stretch if you want, or fully cross the left leg over the right. And then keep both feet flexed if you fully cross, and just little momentum twist side to side. If you're feeling anything talking to you, just stay and hug it in. Breathe into it. 5 more deep breaths. Good. 1 more time. And then release. Cross that right ankle over your left knee, keeping this right foot flexed. Gently press onto that right leg. Hug your left leg in. Use that right elbow to help open up through that hip flexor. Stay here with the option to rotate the ankle on the left side. Keep hugging in and breathing. Good. And make sure you go both directions. And then if you wanted to, you could fully cross this right leg over your left. If you do that, flex both of your feet. Hug it in with those little twists as it feels good for you. If you're feeling any resistance, stay there, hug into it, but stay strong through your legs. So I like to just activate my muscles like I'm trying to take my legs away from my hands, but my hands are bringing it back into my body. So it's that counter force, stretching and strengthening the whole time. Breathe. Two more deep breaths. And the exhalation untangles your legs. Bring both legs straight up. Place your hands just under your side. Make sure you're in the center of your mat. And then bring your chin into your chest. Reach your hands forward with the palms facing up. And then slowly start lowering your legs on the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release into Savasana. Take a big deep breath. Exhale, make a noise out of your throat. Activating that heart chakra. Make any little last movements to feel comfortable, to feel grounded through the hips, through the shoulders. Breathe. Relax your breath. Feel the gravity of the earth. Then if you like, placing your left hand onto your heart and your right hand onto your stomach so you can feel your breath and your heartbeat. Take your time just relaxing and breathing, being in this moment, the present moment of now. And start bringing your awareness back to the space around you, making small movements, wiggling fingers, toes, moving your head side to side. Bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And roll to your right side. Just take a moment here to breathe in your seed pose. And then use your left hand to press you up into seated position, whatever that means for you. Just a comfortable seated position. Inhale, reaching your arms all the way up. We're going to twist. Deep breath in. Exhale, let your arms come down, twist. Keep exhaling as you twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist the other way. Let the arms come down, help you twist. One more each way. Inhale up. Exhale, arms come down, twist. And when you're ready, inhale up. Last time, twist out all that extra air. And reach it back up. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, bring it into your heart center, thumbs to heart. And namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.